word. The liberal progressive Muslim terrorists that we do have, and we do have a Muslim terrorist in the White House who are promoting all this propaganda right now, and they're also and guys, I gotta say this too as well. Did you see the new ad for Coca-Cola for praising Muslims, not Christians, but Muslims?
That, but they got lamp-based last year at the Super Bowl for doing that, and we'll see what happens this year. But in the meantime, you got a couple. The guy in the White House, the Islamic terrorist in the White House, I'll call him straight out because I done it last night on the Anderson radio show at Wednesday while I was on. That was national broadcast. And if you go on my Facebook, the link is there for the show. Anyway, the thing is that every move he's made from before the election to present day, that's going back basically 8 years from the time he started campaigning to getting reelected twice. He has done everything that was going straight towards support of not the moderate Muslims, if there's any at all, but the Islamic extremists, the radical Muslims, the terrorists. Every move he's got, he apologized to them in Egypt. He wants to speak to Iran with no conditions. He's doing that right now. He's allowing them, according to reports, he's agreed to at least 80% of what Iran wants. And that's dangerous, giving them an atomic weapon. If they get atomic weapon, Iran could change the whole makeup of the whole, not only the Middle East, but the whole world, because they will give and sell to the great highest bidder of all the terrorist organizations like ISIS, like Hamas, like Hezbollah, like CARE, like the Muslim Brotherhood and others, the weapons needed to do atomic weapons all over the world, including this country, and that's a no-no.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Also, he refuses to name them by name, and if you can't recognize the enemy, you can't name the enemy, you can't defeat the enemy.
Right.
And he won't. And because he's part of it.
Right.
And that's because he is one.
Right.
So you got that going on. One of the things that we were campaigning on the last couple of radio shows was the fact that we wanted to end the tax on the 529s, which was the savings accounts, tax-free savings accounts, because so families could put their children through college. He was going to tax them and get rid of the non-taxable savings account.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to tax them, and he pulled it this week.
Right.
So he's not going to do that. And that's caused by the pressure from this show and others for doing that.
Well, like I said, we're maybe small, but we do carry a big voice. And we got.
And so that's the key there.
Right.
Also, the other big story today is Mitt Romney pulling out. He has Hillary pulled out.
Thank you, Mick Ryan, for pulling out. Thank you. I don't like Mittens. I do not like Mittens. And further,
he pulled out. He said he's not going to run, and because maybe he wants to get the funding he was supposed to get. Because Jeb Bush took some of that.
Right.
And Jeb Bush actually is going to get hurt by that because in his speech to others, and talking to in this conference call,
right,
he mentioned the line that it's time for new blood. Jeb Bush is not new blood. He was referring to people like Ted Cruz and Scott Walker and the Barbie Jindal, those people.
Right. Well,
those are new blood.
Here's my take. Okay, here's my take for 2016. Scott Walker, Tim Scott Walker, or Bobby Jindal. Those are my choices. That's it. If you don't like it, please go to Gaza Strip. I'm telling you, if you don't like it, you can go to Gaza.
Anyway, that's what that is. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu, in the speech he was talking to, he was being interviewed, and he was asked who that he'd like to be the next president, and with all the candidates right now. And he goes, there's only one choice, Ted Cruz.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ted Cruz.
He came out and basically endorsed Ted Cruz for president.
Okay, let's back up the Congress van up here for Senator, the Senate van up here for a minute. What we need for the Senate, the majority leader is Ted Cruz, for Attorney General Trey Gowdy. I go along with that. And press secretary, absolutely, Mark Levin, press secretary for press secretary, the Secretary of Defense, Alan West, for Speaker of the House. I guess well, we can't have Jody Ennis. That's right. She's senator. Who is a good congressman that we actually have, who actually represents what freedom, liberty, and what this country stands for defending the Constitution, standing up for the Second Amendment. That's the kind of person that I want to see as Speaker of the House. John Boehner won't do it. He will not defend the Constitution. He will not defend.
How about Louis Gohmert?
I'm okay with that. I don't know.
He's got a lot to do there too. Just a few. Daniel Webster's another one that stood up on Boehner and still standing up because he's funny.
That might be a better guy for Speaker of the House. That might be a better choice.
Yeah, once for Gohmert and Webster, Boehner wouldn't file the second lawsuit.
Well, Westford might be better. Yeah, I think you're right.
Alan West, he's now in Texas. He owns a company in Texas, which is a media outlet.
West needs to be Secretary of Defense.
He'd be great as Secretary of Defense.
Yes.
Something of that nature.
Right, and for Secretary of Treasurer, Herman Cain, absolutely 999 plan. Play him in there.
Yeah, I would go with that, but I would use that as a stepping stone to the fan tax eventually.
Right.
To get rid of the IRS totally.
Right.
Now a couple of things. The people are starting to realize that their refunds are not going to be as big as they thought, if they're going to get any at all, and they're starting to realize that it's all about Obamacare. If you are not covered in any coverage of any kind medically, and you have a refund, say you have $100 refund that you thought coming to you, you're going to get $5.
Another question.
Because it's either $95 or 1.1% of your total income, whichever is greater. Most likely, you're not going to see any refund at all. And then, for those that did get Obamacare and used the God subsidy, you're going to find out that your refund is going to be less than you thought, because you got to pay some of that subsidies back in your tax return.
Right.
So what's going to end up happening is that about several $100, you may see 10 or 15. All these people that expecting large monies of refunds and finding out that they're losing it, they're going to be quite angry, and they're going to add to the people that want to get rid of the healthcare law.
Another thing is, too, the people who've got 501c4s, they're trying to mandate Obamacare for us, and they cannot do that under the law, under the Constitution. And that's what they're trying to do right now. You see, they're trying to, as you know, we are a 501c4 just like you. You helped us set that up. I appreciate that, Joe Goldner, very much. We appreciate that. So, however, because we are a 501c4, you helped us get that. You helped us get to that point. I appreciate that. And the other thing that people do need to recognize that they're changing the laws as they go, and they're, instead of being 21,000 pages, now they're up to 25,000, almost 24,000 pages now of regulations under Obamacare. You know, this is
also, there's a couple other breaking news is out in my area. One, Debbie finally told Obama off on his policy towards Israel.
Really?